What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. We're going to do a comparison today of the OnePlus 9 versus the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, these phones, I'll be admittedly, are not drastically that different. Now, there are some key features that they're different, but overall, you're pretty much getting a lot of the same phone in both of these. Now, spec-wise, these are actually quite similar. So they both have the Snapdragon 888. They have 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. The camera is 48-52, and then this also has a quad camera, so you get that 8 megapixel telephoto lens on the Pro version. They both have 120 hertz display. The Pro version is 2K plus resolution, whereas this one, the OnePlus 9, is a 1080p plus. Also LTPO technology built into the 9 Pro, meaning you're going to get better power consumption within the display. And then also the 9 Pro display is a little bit larger at 6.7 inches versus 6.55. Next, let's jump into the look of these phones. Now, side by side, they look quite similar. Now, I will say that the bezels on the phone look a little bit smaller on the 9 Pro, meaning that black part that goes around the phone. But otherwise, they have very similar design with the punch hole camera in the top left. And then, these big, giant, beautiful, bright displays. Next up, the bodies of each of these phones. They're different. So you're gonna get on the back of the OnePlus 9, it's made of plastic. It's basically plastic all the way around. But to be honest with you, you're gonna throw a case on this most likely. And at that point, all phones feel the same. The 9 Pro is made of glass and metal, so it's gonna be a little bit more premium feeling in your hand if you're just holding it without a case. But again, ultimately, going back to the case does not matter. Also, the camera modules look slightly different on here. I do prefer the way that the 9 Pro looks. I think it does look more premium. It looks cooler. You get more cameras on the back here. It just looks more industrial, cool. And they're very similar, but it just looks a little bit better to me anyway. But otherwise, you're getting the same button layout. You get your power button on the right, you get your volume switch on the right, and then on the left, you get your volume up and down. At the bottom here, you get your charging port. You also get your speaker, SIM card. Also, just one thing about charging, both of these can charge at 65 watts with USB-C. So you get a 65 watt fast charger, meaning you can charge this very, very quickly. Big difference in charging though is wireless charging on the 9 Pro. You can do 50 watts. So you can charge this phone, the 9 Pro, in 45 minutes wirelessly. With the 9, it's only 15 watts. So it's gonna take a lot longer. It's gonna take probably an hour 45, maybe even a little bit longer, 2 hours to fully charge the OnePlus 9 wirelessly. Now, we talked about the cameras, so let's see some sample photos and videos that I took with the front cameras and the back cameras of the 9 Pro and the OnePlus 9. All right, little walking test here. On the left, where I'm looking at right now, I have the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now I'm looking at the OnePlus 9, the regular one in here. So which one do you think looks and sounds better on these phones while I walk? Here we go again with the two phones. This time it's the ultra wide doing video, so you can get an idea of what these two look like outside on a beautiful sunny day, and what they sound like as well between the two microphones. Obviously on the back this time. Just looking on these on the phone, the screens right now, I personally can't tell a difference. I'll be curious to see once I put these on the big screen to see if I can tell a difference. Take a look at that. There we go. Let's go back. Performance on these is going to be basically identical. Same processor, Snapdragon 888, same RAM, 12, and same amount of storage, 256. So let's open a few apps on here just to see if they open up quicker, or try the Play Store first. Basically the same. Next, we'll try YouTube. Again, pretty much the same. Next, we'll try Chrome. Instagram. Looks like the 9 Pro, well, they pretty much at the end there, they caught up. Facebook. And then lastly, we'll try Twitter. Again, very similar. So you can see just performance of these is very, very good. Since they both have 120 hertz displays, they're both ultra smooth. And then obviously this OnePlus 9 Pro does have a higher resolution display, but when you look at them just side by side, for instance, just the icons themselves, it's really difficult to see any difference at all. If you hold these up to somebody, they're not going to really notice any difference. I'll play a video on here to see if we can see any difference, or I can see any difference. So let me open up YouTube on here. So I've got both of these playing in 4K at this point, and I'm going to zoom in on both of them so they get to fill up the screen the most. They both look great. Again, it's very difficult to tell. They're on different points of the video, but I don't think you're going to be able to tell. It's very difficult. All right, I have the volume up on both of these, so we'll do a little speaker test. Nine Pro, just on that song alone, sounds clearer and louder. Let's go to the next song down. I don't know, that sounds really, really close, that song. Let's try another one. How about We Had Ramen? I don't even know these songs. Yeah, I'd have to give the slight edge, and watch them both have the same speakers. The 9 Pro just sounds slightly louder, slightly clearer, slightly better, but they're pretty darn close sounding to me. In terms of holding these in your hand, the 9 Pro does feel obviously a little bit bigger because it is a bigger phone overall. They're pretty close though in terms of how they feel in your hand. I can definitely feel like I feel like I have to. It just feels like a bigger phone, or it is again. But I mean, they're freaking pretty close in terms of their size, so it's too close to tell. But if I had to give the edge, I'd give the slight edge to the OnePlus 9 in terms of more comfortable in your hand. What about software experience? Guys, you're getting the same software experience on both of these phones. You're gonna get, look at wallpapers, widgets, home settings. When you go into home settings, everything's the same. So you're not really missing anything on here. Checking out your quick toggles, the way you set them up or the way they look, they're gonna look the same. Let's go into settings here, and you're getting the same thing. Go in display. You can come in here, you got adaptive brightness, comfort tone, sleep, advanced. When we go into advanced, you can get screen calibration set to vivid. You can reset your refresh rate. Resolution, you can do that on the OnePlus 9 Pro. You can reduce it to Full HD Plus, which would match the OnePlus 9. That's a difference right there. But generally, you're getting a very... you also have, you can see auto power saving, which you don't have on here in the advanced settings. But a lot of this stuff is exactly the same. You're not going to really miss out on a lot of these, different features on here. It's basically the same stuff. So if you're worried about having a different software experience on these, don't worry about it because it's literally the same stuff. After checking these phones out, I have to admit the OnePlus 9 Pro it's a better phone. You're getting way faster wireless charging. You're getting a higher resolution display. You're getting, at least to my ears, a better sounding phone a little bit. You're getting a bigger display. I like bigger displays. I want a bigger display. You're getting, theoretically, better cameras. It's a better phone. It is. But is it, $200, $250 better than the OnePlus 9? I honestly don't think so. I mean, you're getting a quote unquote better build as well, like more premium to build. But again, you're gonna put a case on this. Here's a couple of OnePlus cases. And these are not metal cases. They're not like, they're just, plastic, hard cases, whatever you want to call them. And it's gonna make the phone feel very, very similar. So at that point, what does it matter? It doesn't. I would tell you to get, if you can get your hands on it, get the OnePlus 9, just plain one. I mean, I think this is going to fit more people's lifestyle, save yourself some money, and you'll be good. But I mean, if you need the ultimate and the best experience with optical image stabilization on your videos, get the OnePlus 9 Pro. If you need the best of basically everything on these two phones, get the OnePlus 9 Pro. But if you're fine with using a phone that works really, really fast, both of these do, has decent sound, both of these do, has 120 hertz display, both of these do, decent cameras, and very similar in that regard in terms of quality, both of these are quite similar. Software experience, basically the same. Overall feel in your hand, they're very, very similar. Get the OnePlus 9. You're gonna be just as happy with it, and you probably won't even feel like you're missing out on anything. So again, they're both really cool, nice phones, but I'd have to give the edge this time just because of the price and what you get to the OnePlus 9. Let me know what you guys think. Which one would you choose and why? Let me just know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys down the road.